Hi everyone, today introduces everyone to a sci-fi movie. The Gardner family lives on a remote farm somewhere in the UK. One day, each family member was doing his own thing, suddenly a purple meteorite. With the stench falling on the ranch, Gardner's youngest son was terrified. The whole family has many different speculations, which is a nuclear attack, aliens invaded, only a lack of interstellar warfare. The next morning, Gardner warned the police. A group of mayors rushed over. But it was impossible to investigate anything, except that it had a stench that was no different from a normal meteor. The mayor decided to make this case go to the newspaper to make a big sum of money or something. But two unusual things happened that night. The stinking meteorite could absorb the thunder. On this side, when it was thundering, Ward water quality surveyor came to the scene to investigate. Also encountered an unusual, first received a strange call. Midnight in the middle of the day saw a ghost, so still not finished, the car still started by itself. Thought Ward broke his heart, anxious all night long. The next morning, the Gardner family was amazed, the meteorite was gone. But strange things began to happen in a row that night. At first, Gardner's wife did not carefully cut off her finger. Televisions and cell phones lose signals, watches also stop working, while driving on the road also sees a cat in love with a devil-like appearance. Then he walked the alpaca camel, a distance of several hundred meters but was almost impossible to return. Seconds ago it was still in the warm sun. Seconds later became dark, Nina's dish soap turned into blood. The brothers both felt very strange. After their parents left, they immediately told them about what happened. But I did not expect to be scolded by Gardner for a match. Something that in the mountain no old tiger, a servant proclaimed the king, was too much. Even the normal mother who always loves her children doesn't care. This makes the two brothers feel abnormal. They want to quickly leave this place. And that night, while Gardner was taking a shower, he accidentally picked up what he thought was soap. But unexpectedly burned one, extremely painful. After bathing, Gardner became even more irritable. Just say there is a stench in the house, like the smell of your father's cancer, more like the smell of death. Seeing the look of his father, his youngest son, Jack, hid in his mother's arms. The next day, Gardner discovered that the tomatoes were ripe a month earlier than usual, happily picking some. But discovered that the tomatoes looked very delicious but are extremely difficult to eat, and their temperament is even more grumpy than before. In the evening, brothers Jack and Benny leaned against each other, now heard a cry from an alpaca camel. Two brothers holding flashlights passed there, but unexpectedly seeing the scene made both extremely frightened. The two brothers immediately ran outside, and this purple ray chased after them. Seeing this, the mother rushed over, purple light shone on the two of them. Hearing a cry, Gardner also ran outside, but unexpectedly made him see this horrible sight. The body of the wife and youngest son fused together, intending to call for help, but the phone could not reach. The driver did not start the car again, but at this moment, a purple smoke was floating outside the house. It is very beautiful. The mother and the youngest son are gradually merging. Now Gardner finally believes the two brothers' words. Extremely regretful, like crazy, slaughtering his beloved alpaca camels with his own hands. On the other side, the brothers Benny and Nina decided to run away, but unexpectedly the horse would not obey, got rid of the reins and escaped. At this time, the two brothers heard the cry of the dog they raised, and Benny disregarded all his words and prepared to go to the well to save the dog. But at this moment, purple light suddenly shone at him, so Benny was swallowed up. Nina was again her father Gardner regardless of black and white, locked into the attic, and her brother and mother were in it. Now mother and younger brother had fused together to become a monster. Intending to eat Nina's meat, in a time of danger, Ward led the sheriff to run over. Successfully kill the monster and save Nina. Everyone was about to leave, but at this moment, a brilliant purple light from the well popped out. Gardner was mesmerized and pointed his gun at Ward. Fortunately the sheriff made it in time, killed Gardner and saved Ward's life. The death of her father caused Nina to suffer a great blow. No matter what advice Ward gave her, she would not leave. The sheriff and Ward just left first, passing by Ezra's little house in the woods. Ezra's voice comes from the house, and when the two of them enter the house, Ezra soon stops breathing. It turned out that the sound was pre-recorded by Ezra, and Ezra explained everything in the recording. Describing the creepiness of this alien creature, they lurk in deep wells, polluting water sources, then, slowly manipulating organisms, changing into a habitable environment. They are invisible and only vibrant in color. They burned and swallowed everything they saw. Half heard, Ezra's head suddenly emitted a purple light. The two frightened people immediately ran away, but just got out the police chief was taken away by the vines. Ward runs away with a gun, but at the well, he meets Nina. Unexpectedly, Nina has opened her eyes. Ward sees another world, a very strange world. Ward was so scared he fell to the ground, and suddenly a storm of brilliant purple light emerged. Ward tries to get up, walks into the house, but sees that Gardner's family is dead. After being attacked by Gardner, Ward desperately ran into the basement, successfully escaping a lifetime. When Ward woke up again, the ranch was burned to the ground. Ward becomes the only survivor because he doesn't drink the water in this area. He will never forget that strange sight. The place is splendid and full of gorgeous stars. The film ends. Okay, let's come here today. If you like, remember to click like, follow and save.